President Trump and the International Criminal Court, a dangerous precedent. Since its establishment, the International Criminal Court in The Hague has been a focal point of global justice. Successive U.S. administrations and EU member states have long championed international law and justice, often aggressively pushing for the court's jurisdiction to extend across nearly all nations. They preached adherence to legal norms, especially to African countries when their leaders were handed over, as well as to Balkan states during various conflicts. However, throughout these judicial processes, there have been clear indications that the ICC operates more as an ad hoc political tool rather than a truly impartial arbiter of justice. The idea of international fairness has frequently been exploited by Western powers to serve their own strategic interests. This notion reached its peak under the current Trump administration, which openly rejects, threatens, and even sanctions the ICC, a move that not only violates international law but also poses significant risks to global stability. The United Nations has already lost much of its legitimacy, and undermining or obstructing the ICC could lead to seismic shifts in international relations. For global superpowers, international laws and norms are selectively applied, while smaller nations are often forced to extradite their leaders and generals, sometimes against their own constitutions. It is no surprise that President Trump's stance on the ICC stems from two primary motivations. The influence of AIPAC. AIPAC holds immense sway over nearly every American politician, whether in Congress or the Senate, as well as media outlets and financial institutions. Its lobbying power ensures alignment with Israeli interests. Personal affinity toward Israel. Trump's inner circle heavily influences his foreign policy decisions, particularly those favoring Israel. His close friendship with Benjamin Netanyahu further underscores why Palestinian interests were entirely absent from his so-called peace plan for Gaza. Despite the historical and legal rights of Palestinians to their land, empathy for their daily suffering seems non-existent in Trump's approach. We live in a historically fascinating yet precarious time, where spheres of influence are shifting, new centers of power are emerging, and the world is moving toward multipolarity. In this evolving landscape, it is perilous to play with fundamental legal principles and ethics. International law should be interpreted and respected universally, not selectively based on national interests. Great powers must set examples for smaller nations instead of embodying hypocrisy. History teaches us that few empires endure for centuries. At their zenith, they succumb to decadence and complacency, leading to their eventual downfall. If great powers wish to maintain their relevance, they must act responsibly and uphold the values they claim.